Hey, what's up, y'all? So, Joe Biden, he's speaking about Dave Chappelle and DJ Khaled. So, let's check out exactly what Joe Biden had to say about that. Check this out.
Dave Chappelle went off on Khaled. I don't say go off, I don't want to overstate it, but in his comedy bit, he's done it a few times, but recently it's come up again where he has said, I got an issue with DJ Khaled for being completely silent on Gaza, being completely silent on Palestine. And he has been forever, even before October 7th. I guess, and I've had that criticism of Khaled too. I've been sort of quiet about it a little bit because I don't think it's my place to tell.
Yes, you do.
What'd you say?
Yeah, sure you do.
I think it's my place to say it at home.
Got it.
But like, I wouldn't go to a woman and say you need to speak up more about women's issues. I wouldn't go to a Jewish person, you need to speak up more about Jewish issues. Like,
that makes sense.
It's like, it's weird for me as a non-member of that group to tell somebody of that group how they need to handle their group. Mm-hmm. So that's the only. But when Palestinians say, I be retweeting the shit out of it, right? I amplify like a. I'm not going to lead that charge because I don't think it's my place. I guess my question is though, should we be expecting? Is it wrong to expect famous people who represent a particular group that's catching to say something about it? Like, is that a fair expectation?
I think in this particular circumstance, yeah, there is an expectation that you speak up for it. Just because we're watching an act of genocide, it's not just some garden variety oppression. We're watching an act of genocide happen, and these are your people, and you're silent. Yes,
and it ain't but three of y'all.
There's an expectation.
The other thing for me is if there were like 100 famous Palestinians out there, like, exactly. It's Gigi Hadid, she's doing it. You know what I mean? There's so few that I feel like you have a greater burden.
So to those that do it, what happens when they go out and speak out? Is there any type of ramifications?
They make that list and Marcus on it.
So
they make the list.
I don't have a dog
to get us on the list. He want plus ones.
I don't have a dog in the fight, but if I'm Khaled, all right, I say something and now all of this is at risk. Some people, it's not worth it, yo. I've had conversations I've had conversations with some athletes during when Kaepernick first took the knee. Mm-hmm. And my man, he was like, yo, I want to take the knee to support. He was like, but yo, I do that, I risk losing this. He ran down a list of people that depend on me to bring the check home.
I get it.
Some people put that on the scale and be like, yo, I'm with you, but I can't be with you.
Yeah, and that's why those people have a word for those people, though. Right.
Y'all can have that word for rich.
That's all.
And I think, again,
I'm a rich.
I think it depends on whose people it. Again, if somebody says to me, black people said to me all the time after I got fired from CNN, like, yo, like, what?
It wasn't your fight, why'd you say anything?
Right. And while I disagree, I understand that argument, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think anybody would have said if I got fired for speaking up for Black Lives Matter.
No, they wouldn't.
You get what I'm saying? So with the NBA player, during the pandemic and during the George Floyd protests and all of that stuff, even during the bubble, I had a lot of off-the-record conversations with NBA players. We actually held a couple of like private sessions, like teach-ins and things like that with active NBA players, some of whom were all-stars. And a lot of them said, I want to speak up, but I'm afraid to. And it wasn't until Dwayne Wade and Chris Paul.
Once the Don Dadas that are too big for the league to discipline came forward and said, yo, we standing for this now, everybody
did it. So there is, but that's why you need the big names to come forward.
True.
So, you know what I mean? And that's why for me, it's important for the biggest star in the game to say something.
It's different.
Say more.
That's a different situation. It's a different situation. Because if LeBron comes forth, let's just say, in your example.
You got your Muppet shirt on again?
Yo, man. Anyway, it was LeBron, Chris Paul,
Dwayne Wade.
Because Chris Paul was one of the head of the
he was the head of the Players
Association at the time. Mm-hmm. So just say 4 or 5 of the top dudes that come forth. They're too big and too important for the NBA to dismiss them.
Yeah.
Khaled on the other end, and I'm not taking up for him, I'm just pointing out the differences.
Right, be careful.
He could go without music, and music don't stop. You understand what I'm saying? If LeBron James not playing, D Wade not playing, the NBA's bottom line gets affected. If Khaled don't put out another album, music keeps going.
The world keeps going. No, I agree.
And you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of apples and oranges in that respect.
I'm only saying that you need big people to lead the charge.
But we don't know who he's in business with that it may affect.
And that's my point.
Right? I think some people pick their family and their business over anything that's going on in the world, over the cause. And I'm not saying it's right. I do agree, and we do wonder why you didn't say. I mean, he's doing more or representing more for Jamaica, you know, by bringing and collaborating that looks away than speaking on Palestine. But we do see the effects of people who speak on Palestine.
There's a word for that too. Right? Yeah, for a lot of things we talk about up here, there's words.
We do see the effects of people that speak on Palestine. You just mark, so you're able to move around.
Right now, so let me just stop this video real fast because, Joe Biden is speaking on Dave Chappelle and DJ Khaled. And I just gotta say that DJ Khaled, that's a strange individual because, he's been making millions of dollars in the black industry from black people, hip hop, and he's a DJ, quote unquote. So basically what he does is he likes to use ghost producers, and he makes millions of dollars while the black ghost producers doesn't make anything, barely.
But other people,
if I could be fine, Khaled.
It kind of seems to have worn off too.
Yeah, let's keep it loaded. Miz is here.
I can't hear you say it again.
Let's keep it loaded. Miz works here now.
Too late.
I think it's not just alert everybody that he's employed here.
Didn't the lady Rachel? She said one thing.
Oh, Miss Rachel,
Miss Rachel. That's what I'm saying. So they're showing that when you stand up for Palestine and Gaza and speak against, I guess, the oppressors or whatever, however it's looked at, that there's some disciplinary actions that happen to your pockets, to your brand, and maybe Khaled just chose I don't want to say anything, even though it looks away. He took a stance.
Yeah, and to Khaled, one thing I'll say in Khaled's defense, it's not really his defense, but it's not like he's loud on other things and quiet on this. His whole brand is to be non-threatening. His whole brand is to be apolitical, to be about fun and good times and speaking these kind of God did, life is good. It's all joy. And he's not a controversial. He doesn't want to be controversial. So I understand that. It's not like he's picking this one. But to me, this is the issue where I would have liked to hear him.
We the best is on the
I would like to ask a lot of people who got a lot to say about Khaled if them speaking out on whatever issue mattered to them would mean they lose their job and would have a hard time getting another job. Would they speak out?
And
I'm a lot of people. There's some that's just I'll find another way. I'm with it. But the majority, I believe, are going to sit there and say, no, I'm not. I can't risk that.
I agree. And just to tie this up for me, I understand it, and I think we have to be strategic too, right? I don't think everything we should be dying for, everything we shouldn't be losing our jobs for. I think we have to be tactical. I agree with that. I just feel like there's always a reason not to be courageous. And the more influence and the more power you have, the more you can be courageous, but also the more you have to lose. And so for some people, they say, you know what? At the height of his fame, at the height of his success, Muhammad Ali refused the draft. He wasn't going to go to war. He wasn't going to have a... They wanted him to do boxing exhibitions. They wanted him to just go around the world and travel and box in front of him. There was no risk to him. But he gave up his title in a sport that you don't get better as you get older.
Right.
You don't punch. I seen this slap. You don't get better at fighting as you get older. So he made a decision to risk it all. Because a principle mattered. You know what I mean? And for me, that's the tradition we should be following a little bit.
And I think there's
times has changed, Mark.
More of the other ones than there are Muhammad Ali.
It always was, even back then.
A lot more.
Yeah.
And I think Khaled and those like Khaled fall in that other basket. That's all.
What do y'all want to lose your careers over? What would y'all be want to lose your careers over?
Hey, what's up, y'all? So appreciate y'all for tapping into my channel. The clip I just showed y'all, that was Joe Biden and the whole Joe Biden podcast. And they were speaking about, Dave Chappelle and DJ Khaled. As you may know, DJ Khaled, he has a lot of enemies. He used to have enemies like 50 Cent and Tony Yayo, but according to rumors, they are no longer beefing. And DJ Khaled, he's at this point, we're not sure exactly what he's doing because the only thing that he's doing on his songs is basically screaming, DJ Khaled. That's the only thing that he does, because we do know that DJ Khaled, he can produce a song, excuse me. He doesn't know how to, produce a song. So he actually has ghost producers that likes to, do the production for him. And then when it's, finished, that's when he takes all the credit. And he makes millions of dollars, from these ghost producers. I think that is disgusting, if you ask me, because you best believe that he's the one raking in all the money while the producers get, basically breadcrumbs out of the millions that DJ Khaled is making. And that's how it is in the music industry. There's going to be a lot of people in the music industry, film industry, that takes the credit for pretty much everything. So let me know what you think about this. Make sure to like this video, and I'll see y'all in the next videos.